All right. I think we're rolling. Got an impromptu stream here tonight. No post for this one, but we don't really have anyone hopping on at the moment anyways, so shouldn't be an issue. Don't think it's going to affect viewership at all. Late Sunday night stream here, Memorial Day weekend. Take advantage of not having to wake up early tomorrow. We'll go ahead and jump into some coding. I was thinking before jumping on here, let's get this rolling first on the simulator. But I created this global variable right here to track the opening of rounds in the app, and I've been thinking about reworking that a little bit. I don't think I like the way I'm currently handling that, and I think it works fine for this initial application, but I think as I start to expand stats into the app, a lot of that is stuff that I want to handle on the app launch and not wait until the user's navigating to certain views. So saying that, actually, let's go to the main menu here. Because I think pretty much all I'm doing is when the button's tapped, I'm setting the setting that variable, and then going to the new view, and then in that new view, I'm just using all the providers that I had, which I do think works just fine. What I'm thinking now is that it probably won't be providers. It definitely won't be providers. But I will probably end up building out a variable structure to hold all of the individual stats. So I'm going to show all the driving statistics down here, putting stats, X, Y, and Z, you name it. And that's all going to be its own structure, which is what I was thinking about this because it's next up on my list. We got driving statistic, putting statistics, etc. And that's all stuff that I'm probably going to wait on displaying. Just until I actually have the statistics to pull from, because otherwise I'd just be inserting a symbol randomly, and I would get the look there, but the look won't be hard with that. So we're going to leave these items right now. I'll go ahead and get the user score in, so we can do that. All right, expanded. So that's our first one, whole -1. Padding, whole -1, okay. And it's just user score. So I think for right now, I can go, we'll take this column and copy it, I think. Let's find out if my paste is working. Yeah, okay. Looks like we're working. My copy wasn't working in the last video, but I think we're good now. We're going to get this for the other subsections of holes, the 9 through 18, 18 through 27. So this should add the second row of user scores down below. Yeah. Perfect. And so I entered these scores in to be basically a birdie on hole 1 and pars the rest of the way. This is just that first round that's coming from our original file here. So we got a 3 on hole 1, which is a 4. Otherwise, they all match. So that is displaying correctly. So we'll remove that. User score is done. And now let's go and do this return background color. So what I typically do in my projects is I'll make a new file here. We'll call it style presets. And I'm going to use this to hold all of our style settings in the app and custom colors and etc. I'm going to, at least initially, we'll pull this from how I had them created and throw it to pros. User management, settings. Is it in here? That's a big file. Lots of big files, and throw it to pros. Not necessarily the best way to handle it, but style presets maybe. Those were the custom colors, yeah. Static final. Let's go back to settings. I'm doing this off view, I know, so that doesn't look like I'm doing anything right now. But trying to make sure that I at least set these things up properly. Things that I've already gone through the hassle of trying to figure out how to set up once. So we'll call this class. We'll just call it whole colors. We'll create a unique one for whole colors. I'll have to add some imports up above here. And then it'll be a static var. We'll go ace color equals eagle color equals albatross color equals eagle color birdie par color bogey color double bogey color yeah, we'll spell it out. Triple bogey plus color. No, I can't do the plus. So that'll just be for triple bogeys or any score worse than that. What was that? Actually, I wonder, did I have those colors specified initially here? I did. We'll I will just stick with the same colors that we had. Well, this is gonna be, we'll go this way. All right. Colors, deep purple, accent, colors dot purple accent, colors dot blue accent, colors dot teal accent, colors dot gray, nope, colors dot orange, colors dot deep orange, and red. So those are going to be the initial colors we're using. Let me go pull these imports to get rid of those errors. Actually pull the right thing here. It might just be this one. It is. Okay. So I've got those colors created. And I wanted to create a function to return the right color. So let's go to round display. And ultimately we're going to be changing this color here. That's set as green. Right now they're all green. We're going to make that little line of code call this function, which we'll call color. Call it get score color, int par, int score. So var color is equal to colors.gray. And then we can update it as we go. Return color. All right, so if first off score is equal to 1, color is equal to colors, it should just be a return. Return whole colors dot ace color. And I do not have style presets set in here yet, so let's go ahead and do that. App management, style presets. Perfect. Now that's good. Okay. Else if score is less than par minus 2. So if it's an albatross or better, albatross color. Else if score is less than par minus 1, eagle color. It's going to keep suggestion for me. We'll tab this, and then I'm going to end up adjusting a little bit. Birdie color, this one I just want to be less than par, because I'm already covering all of the other possibilities up here. So if it's a par 5, and the score is less than par minus 2, which means it's less than 3, so if the score is a 2 on a par 5, albatross. If it's a 1 on a par 4, then it's going to return ace before it returns that, which is intended. Less than par minus 1, less than par, equal to par. And this is probably the appropriate way to do that, so equal to par plus 1. It is probably more clear if these are all equal to as well. I'm going to do that, just so there is some consistency. A little bit easier to read, I think. Par minus 2 is equal to par minus 1. Par, par plus 1, par plus 2. Else if score, and this will be the only one that's different, par plus 3, return triple bogey. And that's triple bogey, your worst color. Okay, so that should be easy enough. And then we'll go up to the first instance here, which is this color is going to be get score color. Pars is going to be, so I believe this is already an integer, and I believe user score is already an integer. I think so. Yes, and yes. So now hopefully I'm going to reload this, and these will all be gray, and that one will be our teal birdie color. Let it reload. Perfect. Okay, so we got teal, we got gray. These ones didn't update just because I didn't add this line of code, the new function, to those sections. And actually this is probably pretty poor coding on my part. I really shouldn't have 4 different sections there. let me think about how to shorten this real quick. So first 9 holes to display, second 9 holes to display. For section 9 equals 0, it's less than 4 plus plus 0, 1, 2, 3. And then this one starts at 10. So this can actually stay the same. And then all the holes will need to be section 9 times 9. Set of 9. All right, so essentially I have 4 sections here, 4 different rows. 3, and then this is the 4th one. To account for 36 holes, that should just be in a for loop. I shouldn't have 4 different sections. I should just have 1 here. And this won't be too hard to implement. So we're just going to do that. Shorten our code quite a bit. So essentially once I do this, I should be able to go delete these three other sections here. So now instead of whole, it has to be whole plus set of 9 times 9. And so this now needs to replace every single instance where I have whole. That should be it. Now the only other thing I need to do is this, as a part of my for loop, this first 9 holes to display. So that's going to need to become an array to iterate over those section 9s. So we're going to make for holes to display is equal to 9, 1, 18, 27, 36. And then down here, instead of all these lines, it's going to be holes to display is equal to parse length 9, 18, 27. And then I delete these. So here's actually what we're going to do just to make this easy. Show me all the errors, I'll get rid of them. Down display length 9, 18, 27. So now I'm going to accomplish these all in one variable, and then in that for loop I can iterate over it. So that's the goal here. Holes to display is equal to, that was already 9. This one's going to be equal to, so display, and then 18, and then 27. Like so. And then here, holes to display is equal to 9, 18, this, and then 27. Right? I think my logic checks out here. And this one, holes to display is equal to 9, 18, 27. And then that, yep. Okay, so I think that should be good. And then we just need to come. Do I have an error here? Is that what that's saying? Oh, right here. Oop, there we go. All right, then we got to come down to this first error, and then this will become holes to display set of 9. And that should be it. So now I think I should be able to delete all 3 of these. So that's why we did this, is basically to get rid of all this code. We should now be accomplishing the same thing. So now I hit refresh, and hopefully, no, we do get a crash. All right. Not an inclusive range, 0 to 17, 18. Zero to 4. Holes to display, set of 9. Let's go ahead and just print holes to display here for me, just so I can see that value. Nine, 18, 18, 27. That one is staying at 27. For hole equals 1, hole is yes, I see. I think that should have just see what the issue is. Thinking about how to fix it. Logic doesn't quite work there. I don't know if this actually helps, but we'll try it. So 9 times 9 plus 1. It's less than holes to display. So hole plus set of 9 times 9. 9, 18, 18. So those do work out as I intend them to. Hole is equal to, so it's going to start with 1, and it's going to go to 9. And then it's going to start at 10. It's going to go to 18. I do have it as less than or equal to 18. Whole plus 7 is 2. Minus 1. What happens if I make that just less than? Same thing, does not change, okay? See, I do think this is working. That is what I intend that variable to be in this instance. That one's working though. This is all round pars, round ID. This is getting to 18 and it should not. 4 set of 9 is equal to 1. Whole is equal to 10. Whole is less than or equal to 18. So then whole will get to 18. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. So because I'm adjusting it with the set of 9 up here, I was doubling up on that section. So I think now, because I'm adjusting whole from the start, if I take all of these out, whole minus 1. We'll see. Maybe that'll do the trick. And it does. Okay. All right, so that took a second, but now we just have one of these instead of 4 of them. Now I only need to change code once, which is great. And we have our correct function here. So what I could do now is we could go, am I still deleting and reinstalling that on every load? I am. Okay. So let's come up here just to see see most of the scores in action. We don't have a par 5, do we? Just for fun, we can make this a par 5, so we get the albatross in. That can be a 2. Let's throw in an ace up here. We'll go bogey, double bogey, triple or worse. I think that'll should cover all of our colors that we added in. So then let's relaunch that. But otherwise this is good, returns the right background color. So we can check that off. And then the next item is that variable structure for holding all round information whenever it's tapped, which I don't need to do for the information that we're already saving. So in this file, we are already saving all of these numbers. I'm already loading them into a variable structure, so I don't need to create a new structure for these. But I do want to create a new structure for all of the stats I'm keeping. That's going to be the hard part. Let's look at the colors real quick. Yeah. Looks good enough for now. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good. All right. The function's working as intended at least. So this is going to go under round management. Variable management, we have round information, which is probably not the best name for that. It should probably be like scoring information. Let's call it that. I like that name better. Scoring information. Okay. Scoring information. All right, that created all kinds of issues here. Scoring information. Course selected. Scoring information. Don't do that. Good. Okay. So we have that. Under round management, I will want, what should I call it? Round statistics. I have this all rounds, all stats file. And some of these are files that I created temporarily and I might just end up deleting them. I do think I want round statistics. That's what we're going to call it. Let's round statistic holder. Let's call it round stats holder. I think that's fairly clear. Let me go grab this. And then I want this to, so it's not going to hold the information that we're already displaying there, but it does need to include, this could be where I hold that round tapped ID to. Round tapped ID. It's equal to 0. What was I calling it on this one? Round ID on display. Yeah. I can change that one later. I won't adjust it for the moment. Where is my, that's my list of stats. Yeah. Okay. So let's go down here. I'm going to pull up all of the stats, and this is the initial list of stats that we're going to have in the app. I'm going to pull it over to this other view so I don't lose it. What structure does this need to have? This is going to be tough. Going to be tough. Fairway hits. I will probably just display that as a number out of a total. So that's just going to be an integer, so it'll just be a single array. Static var fairway hits is equal to list int. Oh, do I not need that? Okay. Okay, parked should be the same thing. Parked int. C1 in regulation is going to be the same thing. C1 in regulation. Seems like I might be using this a little bit, so let's just copy it. Static var C2 in regulation. Okay, next. C1x putting. This one I need makes and attempts. C1 and C2. So these all, the attempts number, why I'm not tracking that here is that it's just going to match the number of holes on the course. So you only get one chance to park each hole, one chance to be in C1 regulation for each hole. C1x putting, you can have multiple chances. So that's going to have to have another another dimension to that array. How do I do this then? Is it like this? No? Confusing myself here. Hold on. Hold on. Variable management. That should work. Because I didn't actually specify, which I don't like. How do you get away with not doing that? Why can't I do this? Remove list. Okay, but I'm trying to set it as a list int and it's not letting me. Do I need one more of those? Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, now we're back. C1x putting, static var C1 putting. It's going to be the same thing. Static var C2 putting will be the same thing. OB strokes. This is where this is going to be tricky, and all of these are now going to be wrong. So fairway hits, I have it set up here to just be a total for each round, but I want to do it for each hole. And I'm trying to add enough dimensions so I can calculate this for all the rounds on app launch, so that they're all ready to go. I don't have to do a bunch of calculations every time the user opens a round, and that can always run in the background. So it's never going to be that demanding. It would all happen pretty fast. Huh. Yep, okay. Fairway hits. The more I think about this, the more it's easier to just do it for every round when it's tapped. I don't love that, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do. And my only issue with doing that is that part of the app is going to be, we'll call it an all stats view, where I want to be able to see my C1x putting all time. And so then to go through that for every single round, and it would do that for every stat. That's why I wanted to try to calculate it on app launch instead of trying to load it all once the user goes into that view. It's really not going to be a good way around that though, huh? This is probably going to call for is that I should probably go look at my original code for C1x. That'd probably save me a little bit of time. We'll try it real quick. At least get the gist of how I structured things there. Maybe it'll help me, maybe it won't. Yeah. We'll open that over here. It's been a little bit since I looked at a whole bunch of Swift code. All statistics, yeah. A lot of code to calculate that. For sure. All right, function time here. Variable creation. No. All stats. Update all statistics. Man. That's a lot. I would like to avoid doing it that way. So what I was doing in the initial C1x is that you would go into that all stats view, and the second the user clicked the button to navigate to that view, it would calculate all the stats for every single round that was saved, which if you only have a handful of rounds saved isn't a big deal. And honestly, it's probably not a big deal if you've got 50 rounds saved. It just, I feel like as you start to get beyond that, it probably takes a little while. I would love to run that in the background beforehand, which means that so maybe this structure is just for that view. It's just for the view where I am trying to display total statistics and not individual round information. And then for individual round information, I am just displaying that as the course is tapped. I think that probably makes the most sense. Yeah, it does. Okay. So I'm probably going to end up having to update this. Let's hide this for a second. Come into this. So I've got variable structure for holding all. So this is actually going to change to holding all round information for total stats. And then we're going to have another structure in the round display view. Build out variable structure in the round display view to hold individual statistics just for that round. And then we're going to move that way up. All right, so this is going to be total stats. Round tapped ID. It's not going in there. That new structure is just going to be on here. So let's do this one first, and then we'll get into it. So that at least makes it so that this structure here that I've started is correct up to this point. All right, C2 putting is going to be total. It's going to be attempts and makes. Now I'm thinking that there's going to be different filters for different time frames on this view and how I want to account for that. This is rough. And how to make it so that it's easily adjustable in the future. Man. So now that I'm thinking about that, this is all going to be wrong. This I would want to fill per round. I would need number of holes. Have to have it. Static var number of holes. Stat to hold a number per round. Solely for the all stats view. Okay. Then maybe I can make this work. OB strokes can just be a number per round. That probably doesn't need to change. OB rate. Rate. That is going to be a double. Okay. Static var birdie rate. Double. Par rate. Probably have an evo rate. Rate. Static var bogey rate. Static var double bogey. Bogey rate. Double bogey or worse rate. It's good enough. Okay. Static var bounce back rate can be double. Static var birdie streak. We'll call it longest birdie streak. Static var longest bogey free streak. Okay. Static var C1 makes streak. Streak. Longest C1 makes streak. Okay. Static var C2 bonus. Just bonus. And that's going to be a stat that I think Nate Sexton came up with. I feel like they talked about that on Jomez once, where it's the difference between your C1 makes and C1 misses. Static var scrambles equals list int here, and static var scramble rate is equal to double. Scrambles will throw up a little bit higher. Let's go here. Okay. So I think that covers it. Not calculating anything yet. Obviously, we don't have stuff to calculate it with, but we'll get that structure set up. Round stats holder. Should probably be called all rounds. Stat holder. Yes. I think that's good. We'll save that. Created it, and I am assuming that there's going to be stuff I'm missing as we go through this. Stuff that I'll have to add after the fact. Okay. variable structure in the round display view to hold the individual statistics just for that round. So all I'm going to do there is we're going to just come take this, copy it, round display, and then we're just going to add this here. All of these will become a variable. They will all get calculated, which we will do later. We've got to actually start inputting shots in the app before I worry about how to calculate the stats from them. All of our variables here. I can make these all into an array, maybe to make things slightly simpler for displaying them, but I know that I'm going to adjust orders and add stats, lower stats. I think I'd rather just keep them all separate. Fairway hits can just be a number. Parked, it could be a number. This could be a number. Then I can always display percentages next to them. C1x putting can just match this. So attempts and makes. Same thing for all of these. Attempts, successes. OB strokes will just be a number. OB rate will be a double. Eagle rate will be a double. Just getting all these variables created and set up so that they're ready for me to use once we're at that point. That's an integer number. Number, and double. All right. So now those are all created. So that's basically there. When round is tapped on the main menu, update the variable structure, navigate to the new view. Already doing that at this point. We're going to stick with that variable for now. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Technically, it's in there. It works. Round is tapped on a main menu, update variable structure, navigate to the new view. For what we're displaying right now, the variable structure doesn't need to be updated. We're going to call that good. Add button to new view to delete the round. So at the very bottom of that view, we're going to add a button. We'll go copy one from the main menu right now. Where are my buttons at? Here we go. Round display. Round information. Right here's where it needs to go. Delete round. Child. Let's hit save there. So we've got the button. It really can probably just be a part of that list view, huh? Let's just throw it. That's going to be uncommon enough that it doesn't need to be always visible. Actually, let's throw it right here. Not what I thought was about to happen there. I will have more stats to add. This. Do I need to throw them in a sized box? Maybe. Let's try it. Width 100. Does not decrease the size. I don't love that. How did I do that previously? Size box doesn't work. It's under the expanded. I know that's why it's doing that. Let's try this. Good types of questions for ChatGPT. It's telling me that this might work. Definitely does. Cool. Okay. You need to wrap it in the align first. That seems to do the trick. Lovely. Okay. Let's go and add a spacer in here after that row. I'm going to want those to be spaced out regardless. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. What if I just make that really small? I like that. Okay. Now, delete round is added. Done. Build all rounds view to show buttons for all rounds going from last to first. Okay. Does that not register? There we go. All right, all rounds. So this is going to be our new view to actually show all of the rounds like we have on the main menu, except this will be for all of them, not just the 3 latest. All rounds. Do this, this, this. All rounds state. All rounds state. Okay. Don't need any of these. Don't think I need that. Don't need this. Don't need that. So then here we should just be able to go to the main menu, go to our for loop, I guess that's it. That's all we need. Let's try it. Go back, call it all rounds. This will be an expanded list view. Then instead of all this, so under children. I think that's here. Yep. This can be round courses length. It might be that easy. We need to add it to the main file so that we can actually navigate to it. But otherwise, I think that might just work. All rounds. Const all rounds name is equal to all rounds. Come down here. Oh. All rounds name. Yes. All right, and then on the main menu we have that button, all rounds. So now we just need to add the navigation there. All rounds here. This will navigate. That's going to be all rounds name. All right, let's try it. So previously, if you clicked on this button, it wouldn't go anywhere. Now it'll go to this file. Looks like it's going to work. So on the main menu, I have it limited here, rounds to display, which we calculate up above. I think I did this on stream, but it's either 3, or if there's less than 3 rounds, it only shows that number. But we remove that restraint from all rounds. There is no calculation there, so it'll just show all of them, and then it'll navigate to the correct view. If I click on it, if we go back to all rounds, back to the main menu. Okay, easy enough. Build all rounds view to show buttons for all rounds going from last to first. Buttons to have course, date, and score. Okay, we can add that in. Text, courses. I'm gonna have to limit that. Main axis alignment dot start. Text, courses, const spacer. Text again, round, no, user scores. And then underneath it, it's not just that row, I'm going to have information above it too. So that needs to be wrapped in a column. Underneath the row, we'll add text again. This will be round dates. It looks rough, as it should. Text align dot start. Did not work. What if I wrap this in a row? Let's just do that. Then we'll go go and add these. Let's go and add some style to them. I already did have style, so I did not need that. I just wanted those two. Like so. 20. Got bigger at least, which is good. Probably even bigger. Too big? A little too big. Let's change the font too for that. Definitely still too big. I probably want to wrap all of this in a padding. That's probably what I'm missing here. 8 is way too big. Let's go 2. Getting there. Yeah, that looks nicer. I'm gonna restructure this again. Actually, instead, I want it to be a row and then a column. I want this to be a row. I want it to be start, children. We're going to have column, courses, and then around dates. Not a spacer. That can be center. And then I want a spacer here. And then this can be, that probably doesn't even need to be a column, nor do I think I want it to be. But we can match this. And this can be user scores. How does that look? Okay, that's definitely closer to what I wanted. The column should not be center. The row is start. Cross-axis alignment, start. That's better. Okay, that is exactly what I had in mind. Does it look weird if I make this bigger? No, I think that's good for now. Okay. All right, so now we've got that information. I probably want the main menu to look the same, right? I would think so. So let's just copy the padding here. Let's go to our main menu. This is what it looks like currently. We'll go find that button. And then we're going to update this with padding. And now if I hit save, ta-da. Okay. Still could use a little work. I probably want to wrap that button as well. That's something we can do later. Like I did on the deleting around, wrapping this so it didn't take up the full width. We can probably just go ahead and do that now. Where was that at? That was on round display. And I wrapped it in aligned and then a sized box. So sized box first, then align. So main menu. Factor. Ooh, that's not helpful. Sized box. Child. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, did not create any issues. Are you gonna let me make this easy? No. If I highlight the whole thing, can we make it easy? No, not quite. If it was just a child, I could, but it's children that it would be refactoring to, so I don't get to do that. Align. All right, now we need copy paste here. And paste. Do this. And that can be width, screen width times 0.9. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. All right, so now I'm just going to come copy this whole thing. And we'll throw this back into our all rounds view. Where was I at? Outline button, right? Yes. So now if we go here, that'll be the same. And set a little bit off of the sides. So that looks cleaner. Course date and score done. Tapping a button navigates to the new view. Yes, it does. Shows the right information. So that's done. And this is done. All right, round deleting. This is also going to be a pain, man. Deleting is going to have to kick back to the main menu so all the variable structures can reset. That's fine. That is fine. People really shouldn't be deleting too many rounds. If they are doing it, it should be right after the fact, and it should just be from the main menu anyways. So I don't really have an issue with that. Let's delete a bunch of these files just because it's a lot. Let's go to our, do we have delete courses? I do have a delete button. Did I actually get the delete functioning? What does delete do? Delete course. I do have delete course on there. Edit course, is it here? Confirm edit changes, no. Is it course providers? No. Course loading. Yes. Yes, it is. All right, so we need this, and we need it for rounds. So we'll do the same thing. We'll throw it in the round loading folder. This will be delete round and round ID. Round info decoded is equal to formatting on this is definitely all messed up. So that was courses. This will now be rounds and all rounds. Round info decoded. And that is personal. So that's good. Now I have to load all of them in. So I don't like the way this is done at all. The formatting is just annoying. Okay, so we've got new round courses, new round dates, new round locations, new round pars, and then we'll need to copy that structure for distances. New round distances. Whole scores is also going to be like pars. So new user whole scores. Rated 1,000 scores is going to be this. This is going to be new round rated 1,000 scores. User scores will be the same. New user scores. New shot data is going to be equal to, that is going to be a lot. Yeah, that is, I think, the correct recommendation. All right, and then new round IDs. New round IDs. I will probably call it for the stream tonight once we get this function in there. May not test it yet. Probably won't. It is the same function, so hopefully it just works as intended. I'll test course here. Maybe I'm going to do it anyways. All right, so if rounds, okay, if rounds length is greater than 1, okay, and then that else is us adding the test course information. That makes sense. Which I'm just now realizing was never. It won't matter. It won't cause any issues with Throat to Pros. That's okay. For round is equal to 0, round is less than rounds.length, round plus plus. If round is equal to round ID, we're skipping the course to continue. Correct? Okay, so new round courses, add rounds, round, and then that is round. Did I really make it plural? I did, and I'm going to remove that S, and I got to remove it. That is going to drive me crazy. Round loading, this needs to be updated. Round course. Round course. That might be it. I've got to go got to hit stop and restart to make sure that I didn't just break that. We'll find out. It's launching. While it's doing that, we can delete these. Keep going. That's going to be round course as string. Nope, singular. All right, new round courses, add. New round dates. Oh, did my copy stop working again? God, that's I don't know why it does that. New round dates, add round. Round date. Date. Okay, it doesn't look like I broke anything. Still displaying the right information. All rounds. Okay, we're still showing the course. Perfect. All right. Did not break. Oh, did not do that right. So that needs to be this. Definitely just missed that one. Round locations will be a string. All right. All right, so new round locations, and then that should be round location. Yep. Okay, so those are done. Next we're on to pars. That should hopefully match this. I'm going to, whoops, fix all this formatting. It is a little bit of a long line of code, but I hate seeing that as multiple lines. All right, new round pars, add rounds, round pars. And that should be it. I don't think I need that extra comma, so we're going to get rid of that. Copy. All right, and then distances. Distances. Round distances. So pars and distances both plural. Yes. So that's good. And then new user whole scores will be the same. New user whole scores. User whole scores. Yes. Okay. Round rated 1,000 score should match this structure. New round rated 1,000 scores, add. Let's just copy this. That's probably what I should have been doing anyways. Round rated 1,000 score. All right, new user score is going to be the same. New user scores. Copy, paste. All right, shot data. I already did this once, didn't I, on my course loading? Or no, sorry, on my round loading up above. Maybe just that. Round shot data has. Okay, I'm getting closer there. What's that? This strange data sets. This just doesn't feel. I'm definitely missing something here. I'm not sure what. Rounds, round. Am I missing another 2 lists in there? Like this just isn't working. All right, ChatGPT. Okay, let's try this. String to list. I see. Add the brackets to make it a new list. Okay. Makes sense. And then new round IDs should be, yeah, that should be exactly right. So then we should be able to get rid of all of these. To add an extra bracket there. Okay, and so this is where I'm trying to read those. Okay. All right, so now I've got to update all the providers. So ref read round courses provider, notifier, update round courses, new round courses. I was going to say, I'm kind of hoping it's going to give me the rest of them. doesn't like some of those. They were all close, but round from the list. Rounds. Remove at round ID. Parse provider. Oh, I do. I have one extra layer that I need to have. Based on what I did with the... So that means the courses is wrong too. So this should just be this. This should just be this. Come on. Same thing with that. I don't want to cast anywhere. How do I remove a dimension from that? You know where we're going with it. Okay. Doesn't like that. Seems to like that better. All right, so that's what distances and whole scores need to be as well. Round distances, new round whole scores. No, just new user whole scores. Distances, user whole scores. Yeah, the shot data still isn't working. It's also saying I have one too many layers there, I think. I wonder if I just take these out again. That is just two. Okay, so it should just be one extra. so. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now I think this is wrong. That is that's not gonna work, right? That's too many layers. It actually doesn't matter because I have the course providers, right? That's just, I don't have the time to, or the patience right now to go through that. So we're just gonna add a note in here. Go through all course loading and deleting functions and verify that pars, distances, etc. are the correct dimension, i.e. had multiple pin positions and pro, but only one for C1x. That's going to have to be a fix for another time. That's probably one that's going to be boring enough that I might just do off stream. That's not very exciting. But we are fairly close to finishing this delete function, so we'll do that real quick. Copy. Being deleted. All right. New round courses. Add first round. Let's see if I can get a suggestion for the rest of it. New round dates, new round locations, perfect. That's what I was hoping for. All right, and then we copy all these. Test round. Like that. Okay. And then rounds, add test round. So rounds, personal rounds. That should be our delete function. So now on the round display, if we go down to delete round, we can call delete round here, ref, and then round ID can be round ID on display. And that should be the function. You can probably give it a try real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to hit stop. It'll be quick. We'll try it. And then we can call it for the evening. We'll have to go back and double check the course's logic, but I think I at least fixed it for the rounds one. So that should be good. Once this loads. It's getting late. mean, technically, I think that does work. Let's go the back button here, because I do want, when a course is deleted, it should pop back to the main menu anyways. So that line of code there. After deleting, oh, dang it. Make me do this one more time. Copy and paste. So now upon hitting delete, it should pop back to the main menu. Yeah. And so what I'm doing is I am forcing it to, there's always going to be a round installed. And so what this code is doing, my round loading, is it's basically saying that if the user is deleting the one and only round in the app, it's just going to reinstall that first test round. So I do think the delete is working. It just, well, that didn't work. Deleted it one too many times, maybe. I'll figure that one out after the fact. Worked the first time at least, so not exactly what we're looking for, but it's a start. Yeah, we will we'll call it there for tonight. I leave for Portland in 3 days for the Pro Tour event there, so we may not get another stream in before then. We'll see. But thanks to anybody who finds us after the fact, and we'll see you in the next one.